Hello, everyone. Welcome to this platform. Welcome to this panel discussion, which is completely based on research. We are getting the queries from teachers, and this is episode 2. In the previous episode, also, we had shared your queries in front of experts, and they have given you wonderful solutions. So, this time also, we have panelists and we have wonderful solutions to all your queries. And I believe these solutions will definitely help you up in your classrooms as well. So, our respected panelists are Dr. Sonia, Certified Counseling Psychologist, Ms. Deepika Malik, Principal from Stanford International School, Ms. Sumedha, Certified Career Counselor, Ms. Sri Devi, Academic Training Coordinator in Atmiya Vidyapeeth. So let's see today's topic. Today's topic is post NEP, New Education Policy, Career Guidance in Schools. So, as you all know, new education policy is like the part of each and every school throughout our country, and we all are working hard to implement it in a best possible manner in our organizations. We all teachers are putting so much efforts, and the trainers, of course, are putting efforts to help the teachers to understand the whole document and implement perfectly in the classrooms. So today's topic is particularly for career guidance, and I believe all the teachers who are watching this will definitely get some information which is relevant and which will definitely help them in their classrooms or in schools to implement this program of career guidance. So, the very first query which we have received is what is this career guidance and why it is important in the schools? So, I request the panelists to share their point of view. What is this basically?
Basically, if I talk about career guidance, it is a process of helping individuals to acquire knowledge that will enable them to identify the career options and narrow them down to make a career choice. It involves figuring out what individual knows, what they are good at, and what experiences they have had to identify suitable career options. Now, if we go further and we talk about why is it important in schools? So it is very important in schools to boost the confidence of the students by helping them understand their strengths, their interests, their abilities, and by giving them personalized guidance so that they can gain clarity on their career path, they feel more assured in their decisions, and they can be better prepared. Now, it is a vital component for our students' educational journey. It helps students to make informed decisions by selecting a proper career path, by aligning their interest, their abilities with available job opportunities. Also, it bridges the gap between the schools and employability with education. By providing students with career assessments, workshops, and counseling sessions, schools can empower them to choose careers that suit their skills and aspirations. This in turn can lead to increased student satisfaction, reduced dropouts, and definitely better employability.
Wonderful. So, I believe we should raise the confidence of the students, we should provide them better prospects, and we should definitely go for this in our schools. How can schools partner with industries? So this is something which is really very interesting because we need to understand how it collaborates basically with the industries and how this career guidance can be enhanced by different industry based programs, or you can say the partnership programs. So we have Ms. Sri Devi here as a panelist who can contribute for this. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Regarding the school curriculum and the partnership, first things first, if I talk about, let's say, CBSE NCERT books, if I see, let me take one chapter, poverty. There is one chapter called Poverty as a Challenge. Or maybe if I take about economics, we teach children how can we reduce poverty, but we do not tell children, or like what NEP right now focuses on, competency, we do not teach them how to reduce poverty by imbibing such skills or introducing such courses. However, it has started as a skill subject. Like if I talk about beautician course, or if I talk about carpentry, these are a couple of skill subjects that have been introduced. However, they are skill subjects like artificial intelligence also, but we need to ensure that a child is actually learning it for a couple of months, like 6 months, 7 months. So for that, it's very, very important, like IIT Bombay. IIT Bombay had partnered with IICC, wherein it is totally about incubation. Okay, it is an incubation center where they would work on innovation. Recently, I've also come across one course which is introduced by IIC Bangalore. So somewhere, if the schools are partnering with industries, then definitely we need automobile engineers. We need automation. So why can't we actually go ahead and teach children what industries want? So for this, like if I talk about the bank that I worked for earlier, HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, it being the financial organization, the world's biggest financial organization, they partnered with Andhra University because they thought that why don't I actually work on communication skills? For that, they had 6 months next program introduced with next is a communication skill development course, and they introduced as a subject for Andhra University, and hence many students passed out nicely with good grades, and they were immediately hired with HSBC. So somewhere we are improving the per capita, we are providing job opportunities. So I feel that, like, I can also talk about modern school. Modern school partnered with Maruti Suzuki, wherein they brought automation into picture. So somewhere robotics, automation, if we bring these into our curriculum, and some industry experts like the guest lectures could be organized where they can come and they talk about careers, then somewhere we are broadening the path of the child, that what is my area of expertise, what I can learn, and by learning this, it can provide me a job. So this is what I feel, that just like modern school partnered with Maruti Suzuki, we can also bring more amount of partnerships with schools.
Wonderful live practical examples are shared by Ms. Sridevi. And I personally feel that we should also initiate at our levels in our organization. We should also help the management or the administration to understand the need, and we can make the change. Let's move on to the next one. What is the ideal age to start career guidance? Now, this is something which is really interesting and everyone wants to know, because we always talk about age milestones and how often should such sessions be held. So, any of the panelists who want to contribute for this? Ms. Deepika,
Ma'am is on mute, I think.
Ms. Deepika, please unmute yourself.
Yes. Hello, everyone. The ideal age to start the career guidance, I guess, is somewhere between 13 years to 17 years. Because this is the time when their cognitive and emotional intelligence start developing. They have to make choices. They have to be well informed. And this is the time when they start developing their interests and they get to know about their strengths. So the teachers, the class teachers or the career counselors, they can help them to assess what are their positive traits and what are the aptitude of the children. So the sooner it begins, like if a child is in class, say 7th or 6th or 8th, depending upon the level of the child, a proper program should be provided to them, and this is the right time then, because at this is the time when they start thinking about their choices. They can select different subjects, since the new NEP is also introducing certain vocational subjects and skill subjects right from class 6. So this is the time when they can be guided accordingly, and a strong foundation of their academic and professional success can be begun. Secondly, it says how often the sessions be held. Again, I would like to say here that these sessions should not be a once in a while. There should be consistency of conduct of these sessions, as it is an ongoing process. The career counseling should be done either once at the beginning of the session, maybe somewhere in the middle, and towards the end. The setting can be done as per the academic planner of the school. But what is important here is that it has to be seen that the each session should be planned properly. The activities should be planned properly. Like each session, each year, it should be planned that in the beginning, they can have a counseling session. Somewhere in the middle, they can have workshops related to that. And finally, there can be field trips for the students to make them aware of the different aspects. This way, it will help them to decide and see what is their area of interest. Moreover, the program should also include the assessments, evaluations in the beginning, at the middle, and towards the end of the session as well. Because then only the children will be able to have a fruitful, the fruitful result of that. So in that case, whatever is to be done, whether it is a one-on-one session, whether it is an aptitude test, whether it is a personality assessment, so to assess the strength and the weaknesses of the students, it should start at a proper time, and it should be consistent, and it should go on throughout the year. Thank you.
Wonderful. So now we are very much clear with this fact that how we can handle this age milestone query, and it should be very much clear into our mind at which age we should plan such career guidance programs in our school, and what will be the probability, and at what time we can do it, or like say how often we should do such sessions. Okay, now, the interesting part is how can schools assess student career readiness? Now, this is again a question, and evaluation is, of course, something which is always coming into our mind when we design any kind of program. So, here, assessment and evaluation is really a crucial part of this career guidance program, and I want to request Dr. Sonia to put some light on it.
Thank you for the question, Arti. Well, yes, now we were talking about how career guidance has to be taken in school and what is its importance. But the schools should also know how a student needs to be assessed. For example, we have SWOT analysis that we can do. We have MI, that is multiple intelligences, the learning styles that the children follow. Apart from it, we have psychometric tests. Every one of us have heard about it. So these are some of the tools that can be used by these schools to find out what the child is really good at, what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, so that the child can work on it. And if you have a full-time counselor in school, the counselor can keep in touch with the teachers and day to day or once in a week or once in 10 days, take a report from them how the students are progressing to it. If there are still any problems in some of the weaknesses, the counselor and the teachers can together work on it, so that if the child has a certain career in his mind, but there are certain hurdles or obstacles that are stopping him from taking that as a career, then they need to work on it. And it's a team effort actually. So everybody needs to give equal input in it. The school is assessing it, but the student also needs to put in equal efforts over there. He needs to improve over there. The teachers need to observe it. See, best thing is, have club activities in school. put them in different clubs. Co-curricular activities are equally important if we are talking about career guidance. Because as ma'am said, vocational trainings, there are vocational subjects being introduced now because all the children are not good with academic studies. There are children who are good with other activities, vocational activities. So they can go in for those as vocational careers for them. So this is how the school can assess them and help them out. Now, when we talk about evaluating, we need to evaluate how effective the career guidance has been. If we really have to do it, we can teach children to prepare their own profiles. Profile building is one thing that I guide students to. The activities that you're good in. For example, a child is very good with social studies and he enjoys going into debates, group discussions. Then I encourage that child going into MUNs. Now, this is one thing where I can see the child's progress, how he's progressing towards that particular thing. Okay, so then I can make an evaluation on it, how well it works for him, whether this is really working for him or there are certain other things that need to be taken care of. So, this is how evaluation works. We need to collect data. Now, for example, if there is a child who wants to do law, then we need to understand whether the child can really do it. What are the things that he really needs to inculcate? And if he's inculcated it, whether it will really be effective for him, whether he will be able to make a good career in it. For example, if we have to take a student who is interested in medical, now we need to understand the number of seats that are available, number of students who give NEET, how many of them are really going to secure a seat. So we need to understand all this takes a lot to evaluate. So this is how evaluation has to be taken to make in career guidance more effective.
True. Truly said. So now, as we already had talked about this industry partnership, so I believe we should know about certain models as well, because without these models, we won't be able to, implement such notion which we already have in our mind, that is partnership. So I request Miss Sridevi to put some light on it.
Yes, it's a good question. Regarding successful industry partnership models, I would want to talk about the live academy that is functioning very well in Rajkot. That's Karma Yoga Academy, which I visited there and I saw the way they are actually taking children to the Parliament building in Delhi, and they are teaching them that recently on November 30 there is one session that is going on, and earlier in the month of July I had attended one wherein they were teaching children why should we go only for STEM. Though I totally agree that science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, this is the need of the hour. STEM is the need of the hour. However, why can't we talk about humanities courses? Why can't we build a politician? Why can't we talk about creating politics, young youth in politics? So this academy is actually training children that you can, if I bring in a student who knows the problem that is there in the national draft policy of youth, so they can bring changes. Right now, we know the number of unemployed youths who have passed out BSc and BA. So we can bring BA in politics and train them and tell them how a debating is done in Lok Sabha. Like that, how access is most important. And when we take them to the parliament building, we'll teach them this is the problem in the draft. You, as youth, draft the changes that you need. And when we pass that as a bill, there could be amendments. Okay. Similarly, for this, the children, the youth of India should be informed about it. And recently, again, I would like to talk about the Confederation of the Information Industry, CII, which has introduced many scientific experiments. Like, why don't we actually try to create drones, create some experiments? Why are we actually trying to focus on importing some material from foreign countries? Why can't there is enough amount of talent. In fact, metal, which is written in Rig Veda, that there was a queen who had put on the boots made up of metal. And that shows that mining was first introduced in India. We were the innovators of Pushpak Viman, which is again, Wright brothers have patented it, that they have introduced aeroplanes. So guidance is important. And we as teachers, you know, there's a very famous quote which talks about that everybody is genius. Albert Einstein's quote, everybody is genius. But if you keep assessing a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then its entire life, the fish would be thinking that it's a stupid. So we as teachers, we need to pave the path. And for that successful industry partnerships, we should right now start showing them by modeling and simulations.
Wonderful. So I believe such practical examples and the models which are obviously going on in the country, and as ma'am has shared with us, so we should also contribute for such with our organization in our city or state is again something which is really required. So let's move on to the very, very interesting part, that is the budget consideration, because whatever we go for or whatever we plan, even in our house or outside our house or inside our organization or anywhere, we always talk about budget. So yes, when we plan programs, we need certain amount which is to be required preliminary, and with the passage of time we need to revise that also. So I want Ms. Deepika to put some light on it, uh, how this factor is affecting the career guidance program and what we should consider when we design such programs.
Yes, budget considerations are very important aspect, as every school has their own budget. So how much they spend, because career guidance involves a lot of things, as discussed by Dr. Sonia, Ma'am Shri Devi, that it has to be a real-time experience. We need to have guest speakers in the premises. We need to give staff training also, so that they can also deal children in a positive manner. We have to also arrange for career assessment tools at times. We have to provide with educational material, and we need to spend a lot of cost on technology to use and to implement the career guidance programs. So an effective career guidance program obviously will involve a lot of money. So not all the schools are able to do. So to what if the school has sufficient funds, they'll go by this, systematic approach, and there'll be no limitation on that. But even then, even if a school is having plenty of money, then also they'll have to cut down or pick out the important areas which can be fruitful for the students. So for the senior students, the cost cutting should be minimum, because after 10th, 11th, 12th, it is their important year, and then they have to step out. And for them, all these field visits, field trips, and multiple assessments, one-on-one sessions, and guest lecture sessions, such sessions should be organized, and it should be productive. In cases of 6 to 8, say slightly, the junior classes, some cost cutting can be done, because they can be given the real time experience within the school itself. Some mock interviews or some kind of sessions, some kind of surveys can be conducted, some kind of practical situations can be created within the school itself, and practical knowledge can be given to them. Then some techniques like questionnaires, that to judge their interest at their own level, at the school level, can be also undertaken. The teachers training is an important element here. The teachers also should be provided with certain trainings and certain inputs on this, and such that these teachers also to some extent can guide the students. Another important aspect is, just having the program will not solve the problem. Beside this, the students' interest and the parents' involvement. The guidance from the parents and teachers is equally important. We cannot just pour everything from the career counselor. Rather, It's the parents who can motivate, it is the teachers who can guide, and it is all others, elders in the family, who can mentor and guide the student in the right direction.
Wonderful. So I believe this will definitely give direction to the organizations to understand how we can design, and not only we design, we give the shape to these programs by implementing them in a correct manner. Now, this is something which is really interesting. Key performance indicators. So, whatever we are implementing, whatever we are doing, or introducing, so there should be certain indicators. And of course, when we are talking about indicators, we are talking about challenges also. So, let's have a quick look on indicators and challenges.
Well, yes, it is very important for us to understand the key performance indicators and challenges. First, let's talk about the challenges that we face. The students are not aware of the number of options that are available. They are still, even parents are living into that traditional way of doing it. There are 3 to 4 careers that everybody has in mind. It's a mindset, fixed mindset, and they only focus on those things. And it's like, parampara or tradition going on. So they don't want to think beyond it. This is the biggest challenge. Secondly, sometimes it is like, the children are sleepwalking their careers because they were just fulfilling the aspirations of the parents or somebody elder at home to make them happy, you know. So these things need to be cut down. And then the data that is available on net, there's lots and lots of information, but they don't know how to filter it out and use it for their benefit. So this is also a big challenge. Sometimes students come on a site, they see certain things, it looks very glossy to them, and they think, okay, this is one of the best options that I can go in for. So these challenges need to be looked in and cut down. Students need to be time to time educated what is really good for them, what is not good for them, which sites to visit, which sites not to visit, and how much of things need to be filtered out and taken into a career planning. Now, when we talk about performance indicators, we need to see the career guidance that was given. How well has the student adapted to it? Has the student really understood what knowledge was shared with him? Does he have a clear goal of what he is really looking out for? Is he really clear with the goal that is set for his future? Are there any type of doubts or questions or whys still lying unanswered to him? So he needs to first answer all that. That checklist needs to be complete. Only then a career goal can be, satisfied, you can say, or achieved. So these things need to be taken into care. Apart from that, the child who is working on his career, there were certain activities, certain things told to him. Are those things being monitored? Is the child really working on those weaknesses to make them, convert them into his strengths? So this time to time progress also needs to be taken into consider. So these are key performance indicators. When the child is performing, he has thorough knowledge about what he wants. He is very clear with his goal. He knows how he needs to achieve that goal. He knows the steps that he needs to follow. What are the things that he needs to keep in mind and how it has to be taken with small milestones set. Then the key performance indicators proves it that the child is very clear with his idea.
So I believe this will definitely help the teachers to understand the indicators and of course challenges. We always face challenges when we implement certain programs in the beginning or at the end or in the intermediate too. So yes, challenges always go hand in hand. We need to understand the need and we need to understand them and we need to come forward for the solutions as well. Okay, so quickly move on for this very important one, that is the benefits of conducting such career programs, because we are, right from the beginning, we are talking about this, that we should implement and we should, go for such programs. So, what is basically, in nutshell, the benefits of, conducting such programs? Ms. Sumit,
The biggest,
yeah,
okay.
please.
Uh, Definitely, as my co-panelists talked a lot about, and I think things have been made very clear that how this career guidance can be beneficial to them. It boosts their confidence. They get a very detailed information about what are their interests, their choices, and what are the options available in the market, how they can reach to those options. So this is how by we can identifying their strengths, their interests, and giving them a plan how to go for it. This is how by career guidance we can help the students. And there are a lot more things that can be done, like we can set up counseling laboratories, or we can set up assessment programs. In providing those laboratories, we can provide a lot of resources like materials, different universities, different courses, all the information related to those. Also, we can provide them with some courses, ask them to do as a holiday homework. They can research on the topic of their own interest, and then they can get information related, all the information related to it, like what are the options available for that course, what are the universities who are providing that course, what is the salary package, or what are the job opportunities related to that course. And this individually, if child does, they can present it in the classroom, and they can get n number of courses from different students, and then they can discuss it in the classroom. There is one more benefit, that now they know how to research on the things. They can even go and look for courses in Swayam app also, where they can again do it as a holiday assignment, and then they can explore more on such courses, and they can come to know the interest area basically, and identify where their strengths are and how they can work further on it.
Thank you so much for putting light on this very important fact, that what is basically the benefit of implementing or introducing such programs in the organization. So thank you so much to all the panelists for sharing valuable information